The weird king found wives for his 3 sons by throwing sticks. Each prince could only marry the woman in the direction pointed by the stick. The eldest prince was lucky because the stick pointed to the duke's mansion. The second son was also lucky because his stick pointed to the earl's mansion. The youngest son was the worst because his stick pointed to the forest. The 3 princes set out together to find a bride, but the youngest son was extremely discouraged because there were no beauties in the forest. Just then, a kitten ran up to him. The prince told the kitten to stop pestering him because he had to find a wife. The kitten said she was willing to marry the prince. The prince, who couldn't find a wife, had to agree. At this time, the eldest prince and the second prince returned home. They each found a daughter of a noble family to be their wife, but the little prince refused to say who his wife was. Then, the king ordered all the princes to bring back a bouquet of flowers from the bride. The 2 elder brothers set off happily. Only the youngest son came to the jungle with a depressed look. He told the little cat about his father's request with a sad face. The little cat asked the little prince to take a nap first. He went to the tree and summoned 3 little cats. They each brought the 3 most beautiful flowers of the time. The little cat put them together and gave them to the little prince. Sure enough, the king praised the youngest son's bouquet as the most beautiful. Everyone was curious about who his wife was, but the little prince just asked them to wait. At this time, the king once again asked his sons to bring back a handkerchief from the bride. The little prince once again came to the jungle with a sad face, because he knew that cats could not weave. However, the little cat still let him sleep. He summoned 3 kittens again. They brought silver thread, gold thread, and diamond thread respectively. The little cat used these threads to weave a handkerchief and gave it to the prince. Sure enough, the king praised his youngest son's handkerchief again. The king could not wait and asked the princes to bring the bride back. The 2 brothers set off immediately. The little prince was completely panicked now because he could not take the little cat home. The little cat coaxed the prince to sleep again and then ran to dig a hole under the big tree. This time, a dazzling light shone from the cave. The little cat pushed the sleeping prince into the cave. Under the shining golden light, it turned back into human form. The little prince was shocked. It turned out that the little cat was actually a princess. Because of the magic curse, it could only be restored when someone wanted to marry her. The prince happily hugged and kissed the princess. Then he took the princess back home. At this time, a wedding was being held in the palace. The guard reported that the king of a neighboring country was coming to visit. The old king took a closer look and found that it was the little prince and his bride. Everyone was very surprised because the little prince had never said who his bride was. The wedding banquet was held for 3 days and 3 nights to celebrate the marriage between the 2 countries.